So this movie came about for me through a mutual friend who's also a director and writer who's actually friends with the director of Lightkeepers, and he reached out to me about auditioning for the role of Abigail, which I was very excited to be able to be given the opportunity to audition, which, long story short, I of course got the role, but it was pretty cool to be part of a historical story that I personally never really heard of.
Right. And from the time you heard about the audition to the actual first day of production, how long did that take?
So we shot it in fall of 2021. So we shot for like a good few months in like I think September, October, or like November. So like the fall of 2021, we shot mostly in Duxbury and Plymouth.
Throughout production, did you learn more about the Bates sisters and more specifically Abigail?
Yeah, I learned a lot more about the story and all that stuff. And of course, Abigail was a really fun role to play because she's the younger sister, and I also am a younger sister of an older brother. So I kind of played that younger sister like role in that like embodiment of like an annoying younger sibling. But I feel like Abigail, she like embodied like she's very much a tomboy. She's very adventurous, very curious, and I really kind of played that out.
It is technically a historical movie, so I'm wondering, does that differ in any way for you and your process from doing a fictional movie?
I mean, I mostly honestly love doing period pieces, so doing this film was really exciting, but especially for something for like a story that not only but I'm pretty sure not everybody is very familiar with. I mean, obviously it's a self-short story, but I'm sure that not everybody has fully heard of the story of the Bates sisters. So it's really cool to kind of broaden our horizons on our historic Massachusetts stories.
What was it like to shoot a film that takes place in the 17th century?
It was a lot of fun. You know, it was like the costuming and how we try to bring in some stuff that historically accurate, and all these little like objects that were like, you know, very, very specific, like period specific.
And I imagine the wardrobe department must have been working overtime on this because you see a lot of people in colonial uniforms, like the military uniforms in the 1700s, obviously what you're wearing.
Yeah, especially the person that played our father, David Prymore. He actually, some of our costuming was from a costuming company actually in Waltham, so we got some of our costuming there. But actually, I think we got our dresses, me and my co-star who plays Rebecca, we got our costuming from Amazon, actually.
Oh, really?
Actually, so yeah.
So some of this film was shot on water, which is notorious for being difficult. I don't know if you had any scenes on the water, but do you know if that was at all difficult for the production?
So we shot in the fall. So like we shot the scenes that we shot like at the lighthouse in I think Duxbury. So like the days that we shot like at the lighthouse, it was like you could when you see the film, like you can never tell that it was freezing. Like it was like the wind was just brutal. Like it was so cold. Like we had to try to get to the scene, and like somebody was like off camera with our jackets, and I'm like hurry up. So it was brutal.
And I assume it was like 12-hour days too, right?
Yeah, it was a long day. It's an all-day shoot mostly. Yeah.
Do you believe in the full story of the Bates sisters?
I do, absolutely do. I do believe that, you know, these two amazing women were just brave enough to fend off the British Army the way they did. It was very inspiring.
What were some of the hardest parts of production?
Oh man, the hardest parts of production. I don't think I have anything. Like I think it was all just a blast to be a part of overall.
That kind of led me to my next question. What were some of the most rewarding moments on set?
I think the most rewarding thing is to be part of a real story. You know, it's a real story that I'm honored to share it with the world, really, that it's not really known that much. So it's good to, you know, broaden people's horizons about their stories on Massachusetts history.
So now a little more about you. What has your acting journey been like?
So I actually had my start in theater when growing up, but I also actually I got my start like during high school. Like I kind of made the transition from modeling into acting. Like I started out in modeling when I was like 13, and then as I went through high school, I made the transition into acting because I had a background in doing acting in independent films in Boston and Rhode Island. So I kind of ready to transition into acting after I graduated high school, and I didn't go to college or anything because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So, and my parents were fully supportive of it, thank God. So I kind of worked my way up, doing background acting, networking events, and doing stand-in work. And actually, I found my success with Coda, the award-winning film. That's my very first principal role, which is exciting.
Yeah, that actually was my next question. You had a small role in Coda, which won Best Picture at the Academy Awards. What was your experience of doing that? How did you get the role? What was it like doing it?
So I actually auditioned for 2 different roles. So if you've seen the movie, there's a couple roles I auditioned for. There was the role of the girlfriend, the friend of Ruby, who dates the brother. And there's another role that didn't make the cut, but it was a cashier role. And I became very close with Angela Perry of Boston Casting, and she remembered that I sang, and so she sent me the audition notice saying, hey, like if anybody has any experience with singing, choir, stuff like that. And I've been singing since I was 6 years old, and so I thought, why not? So I sang an Adele song, and the director loved it, did the callback process, and the rest is history.
Awesome.
It was very surreal seeing myself like on the big screen, and especially like I was like really like up like right in front of the camera, and working on that film, like it was filmed in the North Shore of Massachusetts, in Gloucester and Beverly, but I never thought that it would ever blow up the way that it did.
Right. And do you have any advice for aspiring actors, especially in the New England, Boston area?
Yeah, so Boston's a very small market, but it's so great that over the past few years, it's been starting to grow excessively with commercial work, film work, and all this kind of stuff. So it's really nice that I get to work with some of the people that I consider as family. So it's really great to work with such inspiring people that we motivate each other to work harder.